As-Salaam-Alaikum. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, all holy praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, who came in the divine person of Master Farad Muhammad. And in the name of his last and greatest apostle, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I would like to greet my brothers and sisters in the nation's greetings of peace and paradise of As-Salaam-Alaikum. My name is Brother Jason, and I'm a proud registered member of the Nation of Islam. It is my honor and duty to host this meeting. Brothers and sisters, we want to thank Allah for his coming and for his guidance to us through his messenger, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We thank him for life, for knowledge, and for another opportunity to gather together in the spirit of learning, growth, and unity. Today, our subject is a very important one. It is taken directly from the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who asks us a question: how can we unite? When we hear the word how, it immediately causes the mind to think. The word how means by what methods, process, or way of something happens. It is a question that seeks a solution. It seeks a path. It seeks a practical way forward. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad not only asks us the question, but he also gives us the answer. He teaches love and unity of self and kind is the key to our salvation. What a beautiful, powerful answer that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us. Unity is what we need today. But the messenger teaches that unity does not begin in organizations, communities, or nations. Unity begins with self, the individual. It begins with the love of self and kind. You must first learn to love yourself before you can truly love others like yourself. If you do not value yourself, it becomes difficult to value your brother and sister. Therefore, the foundation of unity is proper self-love rooted in the knowledge of who we are. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that if we are Black people in America, then we are one people. In our lessons, we're taught that the millions of Black people in America were Muslims by nature. Though many did not know it, our nature is to do the will of God, and righteousness is not foreign to us. It is an innate characteristic placed within us by our Creator. The challenge before us is not becoming something new, it is returning to our true self. Therefore, we must work towards unity step by step. First, unity within ourselves. Then, unity within our family. Then, unity among families. Then, unity within the community. And finally, unity within the nation. These are the building blocks of a strong foundation. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the family is the foundation of a strong nation. If the family is weak, the nation is weak. If the family is strong, the nation will be strong. We must learn to settle upon the things that bring us together rather than focus on the things that separate us. We can witness every day what disunity does to a people. It weakens communities, it destroys trust, it prevents progress, it leaves us divided and unable to produce the things we need for ourselves. But unity produces strength. Unity produces peace. Unity produces economic growth. Unity produces security. And unity also produces a future for our children. We must also have patience with one another. We have been away from the path of self for so long, we have been separated from our true knowledge of self, our true culture, and a true way of life. Therefore, the journey back to self requires patience, understanding, and mercy towards one another. As we grow in the knowledge of self, we must also grow in love for one another. Brothers and sisters, I thank you for being here today. I ask you to keep an open heart and an open mind. For some of this may be the first time hearing and reading these teachings. Yet the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad were given for the benefit of those who will study them, practice them, and apply them in their daily lives. These teachings were given to the messenger of Allah by God himself for our guidance, our resurrection, and our salvation. With that, I would like to begin today's reading from the words of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad on the subject, how can we unite? May Allah bless us with understanding as we study this class today together. So the messenger's subject is, how can we unite? Out of the Message to the Black Man, page 221. And if you have your books, feel free to read along. The messenger starts off by saying, so you say that we cannot unite and produce our own necessities? Now, brothers and sisters, let's think about that question. Because the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad starts off all his teachings with something profound. What in that question is the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Messenger of Allah, really asking us? He is challenging the belief that we cannot work together. He is challenging the idea that we are somehow different from every other black man in America and woman. When I say black man, you already involved, sister. We one and the same. Like God and his messengers one and the same, the black man and woman is what it says. You can't separate the two. So when I say black man, just believe me, you included. Because we can't do it all without you. As the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in the Theology of Time, without the woman, we'll be some lonely creatures. And I agree. So if you black, the messenger sees us all as one people. He does not divide us into different groups. He teaches us that we are one people who have been separated from the knowledge of ourselves. Yet despite our differences in education, religion, politics, economics, and geography, we are still one people. Think that over. So the question becomes, why can other people unite and we, as black people in America, cannot? The Chinese unite around their culture, their language, their nation, and their common interests. Other nations unite around what they have in common. Families unite around what they have in common. Businesses unite around what they have in common. But often we focus on what separates us instead of what joins us together. The messenger is asking us to think differently today, brothers and sisters. He is asking us to see that if other people can unite to build schools, businesses, industries, farms, communities, and nations, then why can we not unite and produce the necessities of life for ourselves? See, a key word in that is necessities. They say necessity is the mother of inventions. So we're not talking about wants. We're talking about necessities, things that are necessary for our survival. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, do we not eat? He's asking questions now. Do we not eat? Do we not wear clothes? Do we not need homes? Do we not need education? Do we not need jobs? Do we not need land? If all of us need the same necessities, then unity becomes a practical necessity and not merely a slogan. The messenger teaches that love and unity of self and kind is the key to our salvation. Therefore, before we can produce for ourselves, we must first learn to unite with ourselves and with our own kind. The inability to unite is not proof that unity is impossible. It is proof that we have more work to do on ourselves. Therefore, the messenger question is not only directed at the people of his day, it is directed at us today. So can we unite? And if not, what is preventing us from doing what every successful people on earth have learned to do? So the messenger says in the next sentence, we are 22 million or more people depending on the white American citizens to produce food, clothes, shelter, transportation, employment, and educational training. You know, as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, if they're providing these things for us, they look to us as their children. You provide for your child. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is trying to make gods out of us, men and women that's responsible for their own necessities of life. These are the things that we're capable of doing because we have the brain power to do so and the ability to do so, and we're free today. We are free to do our will. We are free to express our will. So these things that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is telling us, instructing us to do, is not far-fetched. It's here today, and we have the ability to do so. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, and if they, white Americans, do not share equally with us, we charge them with discriminating. Some of us will go to the extreme of disgracing ourselves in trying to force the white American citizens to give us equal respect. Now think that over. The messenger says some of us will go to the extreme of disgracing ourselves in trying to force the American citizens to give equal respect. Now, he then follows up that teaching by saying the love of self and self-respect, along with the will to do something for self, if given a chance, will get you and I the respect of all civilized nations. Now, brothers and sisters, let's think deeply about what the messenger is teaching. The messenger is showing us that respect cannot be forced from other people. Many of us have spent generations trying to make others respect us, accept us, or acknowledge our worth. Yet the messenger is directing our attention back to ourselves. Why should we spend our energy trying to force someone else to do for us what we can do for ourselves? Respect is earned through conduct, character, achievement, and self-determination. When a people respect themselves, love themselves, and work for themselves, they naturally command respect from others. No one respects a beggar who refuses to help himself. No one respects a lazy person who refuses to work for self. No one respects a people who do not value themselves. The messenger teaches us that the starting point is not demanding respect from others. The starting point is developing love of self and self-respect, which he said is what? The key to our salvation. So what is self-respect? Self-respect is treating yourself with honor. Self-respect is refusing to disgrace yourself. Self-respect is valuing your people. Self-respect is taking responsibility for your condition. Self-respect is striving to build something for yourself and your people. The messenger then adds another ingredient, the will to do something for self. Love without action, brothers, is not enough. As the prophet James says, faith without works is dead. Little more harder. Knowledge without action is not enough. We must have the will to build, produce, organize, and most importantly, work together. Then the messenger says, if giving a chance. This should make us think. If given a chance. Who gives us a chance? Who has that power over us to give us a chance? The messenger teaches us that unity creates opportunity. When we unite, we create chances for ourselves. When we support one another, we create chances for ourselves. When we build our own institutions, businesses, schools, and communities, we create chances for ourselves. The opportunity is not waiting for someone else to hand it to us. The opportunity begins when we unite and begin doing something for ourselves. The messenger teaches us that love of self, self-respect, and the will to do something for self will earn the respect of all civilized nations. Think that over. Therefore, the question is not whether others respect us. The question is, do we respect ourselves enough to unite and do something for ourselves? That's the question. Think that over. And the messenger is teaching us that respect begins with self. Once we understand this principle, we can better understand why unity and self-help are essential to our future as a people. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he says, it is a shame and disgrace to the intelligence of any people to lie at the feet and doorsteps of another nation. Think that over. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's why we got to get up and do something for ourselves, because it is a shame and disgrace to lie at the feet and doorsteps of another nation, asking, praying to be cared for. Love and unity of self and kind is the key to our salvation. Remember that. Love and unity of self and kind is the key to our salvation. Now, brothers and sisters, let's think deeply on that statement that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad just laid out to us. The messenger does not simply say that love is the key, nor does he simply say that unity is the key. He joins the two together and he teaches that love and unity of self and kind are the key to our salvation. And what does that love of self and kind look like? It begins by reorganizing and recognizing that we are, if you black, all one people. If we are one people, then our success are tied together. Our future is tied together. Our problems are tied together. And our salvation is tied together. The messenger teaches us to stop thinking as separated individuals and begin thinking as one people with one common destiny. But unity requires leadership and direction. Throughout history, Allah has always raised a guide from among the people to lead them. The prophets came from among their own people to guide them back to the right path. The messenger of Allah, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, was raised from among us to guide us back to ourselves. He also gave us a program, a nation to build, a flag under which we can unite as one people. See that flag behind me? That's the universal flag of Islam, the only flag known. The purpose is that we would no longer depend on others to provide what we're capable of providing for ourselves. This reminds us of the account of Lazarus in the Bible, who laid daily at the rich man's gate, hoping to receive what fell from the rich man's table. Think that over. Brothers and sisters, that's a picture clearly about us. How long have we stood at the doorsteps of others asking for opportunity? How long have we waited for someone else to solve our problems? The messenger teaches us that our condition does not have to remain that way. We have been shown another way. That's the key right there. We have been shown and given another way. We have been given guidance. We have been given knowledge of ourselves. We have been shown that we possess the ability to build for ourselves if we unite. Our salvation begins when we accept our own, we believe in ourselves, and we work together. We must stop allowing small disagreements, personalities, and foolish ideas to divide us. A divided nation cannot stand. A united people can accomplish what once seemed impossible. The messenger teaches us that we already possess what it takes to become a great and mighty nation. What has been missing is not ability. What has been missing is unity. Therefore, the question before us is, do we believe enough in ourselves to unite and build the future that Allah has placed within our reach? Right there for us to grab. The messenger has shown us that salvation begins with love of self and unity of our own people. And as we continue reading from the messenger's text, let us examine how he teaches us to put these principles of unity into action. So, in the next sentence, the messenger drops a bomb like always. He says, if you say we cannot unite, you are wrong. We can unite. Before your very eyes, you see the believers in Islam, God, and his religion, Islam, uniting. And this divine power, Allah, working among us, uniting us into a nation of brotherly love. Disapproves the lie of that old saying that black people cannot unite. Brothers and sisters, this is one of the strongest statements in this entire subject. The messenger does not leave unity as an idea. He points to the living evidence. He doesn't leave it as something you cannot attain. He's showing you it's being done. The messenger says, if you say we cannot unite, you are wrong. Why? Because Allah has already demonstrated that we can. The messenger tells us to look with our own eyes. He says that before our very own eyes, we can witness believers in Allah coming together under the religion of Islam and becoming one nation. This is not merely people getting together. This is Allah's divine power working among a people who were once divided transforming them into a nation built upon that brotherly love. Think about that. For generations, we were told that black people can never unite. The messenger calls that particular statement a lie. Why is it a lie? Because Allah has already produced the proof that we can unite. The Nation of Islam stands as a living demonstration that unity is possible when a people are guided by divine wisdom. The messenger teaches that we are no longer operating under someone else's flag or someone else's national identity. Allah has given us our own direction, our own program, and banner under which we can unite as that one people. So we have it all. There's no stone left unturned. So when a people unite under that flag, under Allah's divine guidance, they stop merely talking about change and start producing change. Lives are transformed. Families are transformed. Families are restored. Men and women begin respecting themselves. Communities begin to improve. The impossible becomes possible because Allah is working among a people who are willing to obey His guidance. The messenger of Allah, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, did not simply deliver a message in which he simply did deliver a message. He demonstrated the message. Let me say that again. He demonstrated the message. He demonstrated the teaching. He turned the word into flesh. He showed that unity was not a dream. He showed that unity can build things. He built schools. He built businesses. He built farms. He established communities. He developed men and women of character. His work became living proof that Black people can unite, organize, and build for themselves. This is why the messenger says that anyone who claims we cannot unite is mistaken. The evidence is already before us. So if we continue to follow the divine blueprint that Allah revealed through His messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, then we are not following the ideas of modern man or just anybody. We are following the ideas of God, a divine man. We are following a program that has already demonstrated its ability and power to transform lives and build a nation. How fortunate are those who recognize that proof and commit themselves to walk in that path. Having shown us that unity is not only possible but already demonstrated, the messenger continues to teach us the principles that will preserve and strengthen that unity as we continue building ourselves into a nation. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, I agree with you who are in Christian churches, lovers and followers of white Christian, that you cannot enjoy love and unity among yourselves. The basic aim and purposes of the religion Christianity, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, was to deceive other races, namely the black, the brown, the yellow, and red, to make an easy prey for the white race. This is what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaching us, that God taught him. Because remember, he's a messenger. He's not a prophet. The end of prophets. His words is directly from what Allah put in his ear. And he never forgot one word that Master Farad Muhammad, Allah in person, taught him. And he gave it to us. And he exhibited that power among the strongest nation in America because he was able to build. And the only people that did not respect him is the people he came to save. Think that over. Because the people he's talking about, he's dumping fire on, they respected him. They honored him. But you and I, the people he came to say, nah, we not in that we not in that I. Excuse me. But some of the people that he came to say disregarded his message. And you see the results of disregarding his message. We suffer. The people suffer. So the messenger says, since Christian Europe, it says, but today you and I both see the powerless forces of Christianity unable to bring about peace among those who profess it. You see wars going on all over the place. He says, since Christian Europe and America cannot bring peace to their troubled world with all their satellite nations as helpers, what kind of peace can they make for us? Now think that over. That's heavy. I'm going to say it again. Since Christian Europe and America cannot bring peace to their troubled world with all their satellite nations as helpers, what kind of peace can they make for us? Now, the messenger puts a sharp question to us. Christian Europe and America cannot bring peace to their own troubled world, even with all their satellite nations helping them. So what kind of peace could they ever make for us? Now, look at what their hand, Christian Europe and America, has done across the earth. They have divided nations all over this world, setting one people against another, causing them to fight and kill one another. And they brought that same hand to us. They divided us. They set us against our own. They caused us to fight and kill one another. And this is not by accident. In our lessons, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us this very division was the aim of Yaqub, the scientists who grafted this people and made them, by their nature, to divide and to cause bloodshed. Non-peace was their design. So here the messenger's questioned again. Can the people who cannot find peace for themselves give us peace? Emphatically no. You cannot give what you don't have. You cannot lead another to a place you have never been. A divided house cannot teach another house how to stand. So we have to wisen up, brothers and sisters. We have to take our own place among our own people who are righteous by nature, as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us. We are the best. We are the righteous. We are the powerful. And we have the ability to bring peace because we are peace. And this is what Islam is. Islam is peace. It's a peaceful religion, contrary to everything you were taught about Islam. What is Islam? Islam means entire submission to the will of Allah. Islam means peace. And the messenger brings us Islam in its perfected form. Not the watered down picture that the enemy painted for you and I, but the perfected religion, because it came straight from the mind of Almighty God Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praises is due forever. So come and study and practice what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has to offer us. It is a good tiding for every one of us who will accept it. So the question still stands. Will we keep looking for peace from a people who have none to give? Or will we come into our own, accept the peace of Islam, and become the very peace this troubled world has been waiting on? They're waiting on you and I, brother and sister, to wake up, to unite with one another, with that love and unity of self and kind that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that is the key to our salvation. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad continues to say, because these are powerful subjects, study the teaching. Visit our website, www.templeofislam.com, to learn more about the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Allah in person. All his books are there for free. You can download and read. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, their religion divides one against the other. This I am sure we all can agree upon. We must know self to gain self-respect. This will remove that old slave idea that the so-called niggas cannot unite and build an independent nation on some of this good earth. This good earth. This earth is still good before they contaminate it. We got some time left. But some of it, you can't do nothing with. But we have a lot of it that's left. It's being preserved just for you and I to build. And that we can call our own. The messenger says, stop looking for others to help you in that which you can help yourself. This is what we got to do today. We have the ability to help ourselves. We have to find the courage to do so. The messenger says the white man has made the black man lazy, that he may rule and enslave him by producing and selling to him that which he can produce for himself. And that takes me to a lesson. Let me go to this lesson real quick. Lost Found Muslim lesson number 1. Number 7, why does the devil keep our people illiterate? Now look up the word illiterate. It does not just mean the inability to read and write. It's also the inability to read and write the time and understand the time in which you and I live. It says, why does the devil keep our people illiterate? So that he can use them for a tool and also a slave. He keeps them blind to themselves so that he can master them. Illiterate means ignorant. So he keeps us blind to ourselves, blind to our ability that we're great. He keeps us blind to the ability that whatever we need is already in us, came with us when we was born. We just have to tap into that and study the wise counsel of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Wonderful counselor, as the Bible describes him. So he says, the messenger, but the white man knows that he has destroyed the black man's unity. And as long as the black man thinks he cannot love and unite with black, the white man knows that he has a permanent slave. Think that over. Long as you and I can't unite, he knows that we will be forever working for him and building his world. So the messenger says, come and let us unite under the crescent and do something for ourselves in a way of supporting our own needs. He's very distinct on what is going to get us this unity. We can't unify with everybody. All this unity and community, no, you have to unify under divine. Our problem has always been divine. We can't unite with other than divine. We have to unite under the crescent, under Allah's messenger. That's divine. Nothing else is going to work. I can't unite with somebody else that's studying and learning something else. It won't work. And the beauty of that is that we have years of that testimony to study. Those that try to unite with other factions that do not believe or not follow in divinity, it doesn't work. So the message was clear on unity under the crescent, under the sun, moon, and star, under the flag of Islam. Islam is peace. As the messenger said in the theology of time, you had a man doing what I was doing. I advise you to follow him. That's wisdom. So if you had anybody that can duplicate what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has done, I advise you to follow him, but you're not going to find it. So let's get back and unite under the crescent and do something for ourselves in the way of supporting our own needs. So the messenger says, go after some of this earth for our nation of the 22 million here in North America. If it cannot be here, there's plenty of earth elsewhere. The messenger says, we want nothing short. You're not going to give us what you want to give us. We want nothing short, the messenger says, of a home on this earth that we can call our own. Not to be servants and slaves for other free nations. The messenger says, let us capture the market of our people by producing their needs. Now let's stop right there. There's one more sentence left and we finish. But the messenger says, let us capture the market of our people by producing their needs. Now, brothers and sisters, let's think this over. This is very, very important right here. Hear what the messenger is telling us to do. He does not say, go and integrate into another man's market. He says, capture the market of our own people by producing their needs. Make what our own people need and supply it for ourselves. Now, think about what we already are. If we looked at ourselves honestly, Black America is already an economic nation inside a nation. Our buying power in America is somewhere between 1.8 trillion and nearly $2 trillion every year. Now hear that number. That number is larger than the entire economies of many developed nations on this earth. If Black America, just Black America, were counted as a nation, that 1.8 trillion to $2 trillion would place us near the size of nations like Canada, Italy, South Korea, Australia, or Mexico. We are roughly 47 to 52 million people, about 14 to 15% of this country. By the numbers, we are already a nation. But here is where we must be careful, brothers and sisters. Buying power is not wealth. What is buying power? Buying power is the money flowing out of our community into others. It is what we spend. What is wealth? Wealth is what we own. Wealth is ownership. It's assets, businesses, land, stocks, insurance, banking, and our own institutions as wealth. And this is why even with almost $2 trillion passing through our hands every year, the median Black family holds only about $44,900 in wealth, while the median white family holds about $285,000 in wealth. That's more than 6 times as much. Why? Because we have been trained to spend and not to own. This is exactly what the messenger is warning us against. The messenger says we are pouring our market onto the soil of another. He says, capture the market of our people by producing their needs. So the real work is to own Black, to bank Black, to insure Black, to build Black, to invest Black, to manufacture Black, to distribute Black. Now think about the power already in our hands. If we just capture 10% of our own $1.8 trillion market, that is $180 billion a year turned back to our own people. At 20%, that is $360 billion a year. And over 10 years, reinvested in our own, that becomes a wealth engine into the trillion. In plain terms, brothers and sisters, if Black America organized under that crescent, organized under the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, organized under Islam as taught by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, its market power into ownership power, we would no longer be merely a community. We will function like a top-tier developed nation. We will become the very nation the messenger has been telling us all along that we already are. This is what the messenger means by capturing the market of our people. Not feeding another man's table with our own bread, produce our own needs, buy from our own, and most importantly, own our own. So the question stands before us. Will we keep pouring nearly $2 trillion a year into the hands of others? Or will we do what the messenger says, capture our own market, produce our own needs, and turn our buying power into ownership? And I'll spend it into a nation. So the messenger says, with the last sentence, we cannot produce our needs on the soil of another. This is why we need land of our own. So brothers and sisters, as we conclude today's class, let us reflect on what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us. Today, we already learned that we already possess the power to unite. What has been missing is not our ability, but the proper guidance. The messenger of Allah has shown us the way. Too often, we have wanted to stand alone as individuals instead of becoming a part of something greater than ourselves. But no great nation was ever built by individuals working alone. Great nations are built by people who unite around a common purpose, a common vision, and a common program. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has given us that program. He has shown us how to unite as one people, how to love self and kind, how to build strong families, strong communities, and ultimately a strong nation. He has also shown us that we already possess tremendous economic power. The question is whether we will organize that power and use it to produce the necessities of life for ourselves. When we do that, we build security, we build opportunity, we build wealth, we build the future for our children and generations yet unborn. Therefore, brothers and sisters, let us unite under the universal flag of Islam and get behind the teachings and program of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Let us stop allowing small differences to divide us and instead focus on the great work of building ourselves into the nation that Allah intended us to become. I thank each of you for being here today and for giving your time and attention to study these life-giving teachings. If today's lesson has inspired you, I encourage you to continue your study. Please visit our website at www.templeofislam.com to learn more about the teachings and the program of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It's all there. These are not merely words or theories. They are a proven program that has transformed lives, restored families, built businesses, and raised the people from a condition of despair to one of hope and purpose. The messenger teaches us that we can experience heaven while we live. A life of peace, security, meaningful work, good homes, friendships, and the opportunity to build something lasting for ourselves and our children. We also invite you to follow us online, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Continue to study these teachings with us. and grow with us as we strive together in love, unity, and righteousness. May Allah bless each of you in increased knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and success. Thank you for joining us today. And I greet you as I leave you in our nation's greetings of peace and paradise. As-Salaam-Alaikum.